to banquet. It's now time to start eating, so if everyone can start finding a seat, sitting down, all that good stuff, we can begin banquet.
Thank you very much. Oh, thanks. No preference.
Hi there. Nobody gonna eat with us,
Sorry.
Brian? Oh. We just put up with Brian while I still have to see the other side.
How are you? Getting better. with whiskey, yes. At least I won't care, right? I haven't placed my thing. Huh? I'll figure out.
Do we have painless assignments or just we think later?
I think you just put this down. I'm gonna go find it.
No, you too, because just the first meeting.
You heard of Josh? Will you eat Josh? You guys have a good piece of rice. I was walking with Tim.
Like, oh no! They just won't shut up, will they? Of course.
Oh, okay. As long as you don't talk about it. And the only person that can talk about it longer would be Pam's the only one who's good I was kind of nervous. Actually, it's out to you. Walking days, I'll see one I'll see one of them go to work and there's some car on the bike. Really, I mean, sometimes I'll run into them. We have a
can make it to this.
Jacob are with a mixed bag. Either way, try to see how you can come over with us. Yeah, maybe I'll come over with you. So I show the dirt and I can't put some dirt on it. And it hasn't been done.
Right, you have to get someone else up to speed.
So I finally have a track.
Right.
It's up in the
Good luck with that. In the meantime, you have a nice job.
It must be the one with the cars though. I'll have to check it out and see. When we left, they were really up and doing this driveway, and I didn't see them because they were doing the water system. And I didn't know whether their cars were in the garage or at work because they weren't going to be able to get on the driveway. So I think I saw at least the garage door was on. So this is when we were taking out the car.
Sky got dark. No idea.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking should happen. No, thank you. No, thank you. I have thought about it. I decided no. Oh my God.
When I'm out walking in the yard, or else using school or
You get thank you.
oh, yes, we got that. We got some of the real here in the young man. That's Tom. The guy who's always got the from Maryville. I think he plans on doing that anytime soon. No. Did you wear Usher and Hill on a Curry? Boy, it was like old time week 2 weeks ago tonight. Did you know that the Philadelphia Orchestra performed in Hill on a Curry 2 weeks ago? You're seeing tickets. No. Oh, I thought they did. But remember the May Fest when they came every single year? Yeah, they, so this was a big deal, and they played the 50th encore. Of course they did. They did, yeah. Cool. That's the first time they've been back there in 25 years. You know, and that May Festival is I know you're regularly going to concerts. Yeah, I'm going to check them out. I just assumed that you had seen tickets for whatever it was. That auditorium is so oh my God. It's so unique. They play that and if you hear that street light, you're going to say nothing. And Donna, my lady, she is not her world class. Not the same. When in Black Gallery, when they all played perfect. Oh, the place and they asked for online comments about the May Festival. I sent one in, it was quite well done. And they came up to me and offered to upgrade. I didn't want to. No, it was because of the essay I was doing about all my May Well, I had gone backstage one year. Performed by the I have it sitting on my wall. And I mentioned that on the essay. They looked me up. Well, you're obviously very impressed. And so I got I haven't got it yet. Some poster signed by Yannick Sigon. You didn't get home until 1 o'clock. And we had some friends that never been to they were just bubbles. John, you should have come to the rest of the night. When you saw him at Hill. Very much. When we were in high school, our band director, our band we were invited to play our singing at the auditorium for high school. And there were only a few people in the audience. But he kept dropping into us that we were playing on the same board with the greatest artists in the world. And then that would be very pretty. mortgage so many times I couldn't count it. For a while. Oh. If you were in the first couple rows of the audience, you got flat. And the bowl would amplify that very nicely all the time. Probably never invited well, when they revamped and restored the place, this is so so did Gary. By the way, I took you probably have to get a bit different. Might not be solid. I know Gary. And he also brings You know, we deal with somebody very rough. Oh, you probably could. He was well known. We're having trouble getting I appointed somebody they have a bigger drop of profit. I don't never seen that I mean, that was, and then only a small portion. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, he told me.
How fast are you just go? Yeah, I want to know. Yeah.
Right. At this point, it's, you know, you absolutely. Well, it's after the a lot of systems. your buddy starts it is so hard to do us. You know, I've been in this group since day one. Trying to accomplish I don't have all across the street after the hospital. Or they were doing stopped at 6 and then went back to school. So the teacher was actually trying to light through the blood loss. And we set up because these kids are just challenging things to do. And like I said, not that one. So this will teach the principal and then the superintendent. Because you're responsible to teach everyone the practice. My sexy sorry, not I know the basic procedure is fine. Control and discipline. On the side, he's an IT and they do software and all those files in order. So his number, so he's the person that they call. Now they've on another company, so now he's but he does feel music on the side. He's going to see have a green side. don't have any choice. You get it. Opportunity. But they don't have an opportunity. We are yeah, you're one of them. Oh, you're still on Mark and I'm like, you should let me go over to your land out west. Then it's like being healthy. You do it in your lab. I had lunch with him. Yeah, he's going to come up each time. He's everybody down there. And I just said to her, you know, I don't I'm going to come down for a couple of weeks. I don't need an observatory. So what's the land for?
It's like serve left. Okay, so serve on the left. Yeah, okay.
I was going to help him establish a planetarium out in the desert in the middle of nowhere. Talk about a sucker. But he gave me a good deal. He didn't know what the other was. He gave me a deal I couldn't refuse. Yeah, like he'd be bargained. So how many people? Oh, there were people. In my case, it was
Not every single one. It was over. It's probably the version I used to know you could say the same thing. You could have it. I was like a shot right to the end. What I wanted to see. Tell the wife, trigger you for me what I wanted to see. Of course, you can name it. All the development.
Dan Kell. The other one is Even though he's in favor, yeah, it does. I know that. And that's we rise more. No, he's out here.
You know what though? There's a lot. We have like a first we have
That's into it. And you tell when it's doing all hyped out. I'm glad you well, he talked to me on the phone. And I was sort of thinking, but I said, you have to follow that was my advice. But I thought he did a good job. He was a known partner. Yeah, we had a couple of phone calls. I heard him.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about there. Ron, you are talking about 9 years.
Yeah, it's all been.
All of Gary Thompson's gizzy. Yeah, look at all of gizzy.
And the gameplays are all that. You feel like
If you want to go that way,
Oh, I swear, I am surprised more countries didn't bring it out. With the way we had a fighter in the 70s, 80s.
all those hot lamps, even like those.
Oh, yeah.
All of that stuff.
Oh, Lansport, yeah. Oh, yeah. We had a few people whenever we were in school, I would try to hide all the extension cords. Because the inspectors didn't know what kind of peril we were and I'd say, well, think of the theater, live theater. This is set up entirely for this show. Well, oh, okay, that's okay. As long as there's so many, I've only been in here for 10 years. Yeah.
coming from the live theater world, I can tell you that saves us nonsense there as well. So,
Oh, I know that.
yeah.
Running all the way around. What they did is they were years ago, but they put something out. They started and left the wire and they were just out to the field. Well, in some cases, the wire running to the or running to the control and powered on one end. When we powered up, right into the power.
It's been really cool. It was a big audio.
And all the show must go on. That's what it was. Whatever it's supposed to be done. They don't put that on the bill. Well, you hook it up, you power it up, you were good to go. That's why honestly I'm really surprised when I came up with yeah, John, you lived there and we all did. The old plant. The old plant area. The era that you lived in. That would have been very much.
Glad I got some experiences, but I'm also glad I didn't experience I feel like, in a sense, you could have not come back in your training. Older stuff.
Oh yeah, it was
With the upgrade, I'm able to work with
you know, Kitty Cock is pretty much ready to leave. So, zero that they put up with the front. It was a secret that all the people they never know how things are wired.
Was it documented anywhere? That too? No documentation.
We had a patch panel in Ann Arbor. We import the banana patch cord, so we used 18-gauge strap cord with nail plug on. So when the council was powered up, there was power going through the trunk for a while. So we had a big sign on the patch panel. Patch for the next show was all gone. Now, we have Nikki asking sometimes what happened after he took my job. He got a couple shots. And it's working. I fully expect to see him knowing Gary didn't know much more either. He may have found the cost. It's very small. We generally see him around the holidays. That's the local television station, Trail to Salon. They didn't change in Nebraska. They followed the group that decided to run out of Wyoming and Marcus London. And Diane got all the TV. He's former yeah, they all got together with the boys. How old are his boys? In their 20s. One's no, I don't. No, it's just.
I think I was your last time.
live every day.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I can get help get a style like that. Yeah, I was
Well, I remember telling Todd not to play well. I remember Mel making Todd used to use the reference. Mel was on the phone. Paid for the job. How was that talking about? And I remember telling him, they had that place and do you want to do anything sort of like
I feel like now would be unnecessarily sowing discord.
although Mel
wow. That you get to
and they've merged with the voice Discord actually allows it. So I don't the air quotes around servers, sorry. That was what I said. I got excited for a second. We look at those things. You know, person tracking you out from the point none of I know that simply because Gary told me.
Well, we didn't know. Walking in the walking
And they said, no. We're not doing it. We're trying well, I thought it was there already. What Very involved in this economy process. I was comparing your time with where tradition is. Very involved in that. Well, with their
I take advantage of this.
probably here, so it's like a shot. I can do things. I know Colorado can run with one outside that wasn't. God bless him, I wrote her my time. I'm sure he was pushing her. Oh, that was quite a story.
It's super crowded. It's great, so I'm not a big fan.
And I was in your speaker that evening. Having the program guy. I walked out of the store looking at these about 2 or 3 years ago. I heard all about it. I got home. I'm not looking at I don't know anything about that. They do? No. No, I don't.
There's something on the bolt that's going to be done. I never cared.
Oh, yeah.
They don't just, I thought it was they don't take very much.
I hope you got coffee too, because I have to drive back.
Probably not many people who know
That's been great for me. Walk out and walk out there and work back. Well, that's not exactly. But very, very selfish. You know, he hasn't gone back to volunteer life. Oh,
Yeah, I'll bring it right after the dessert.
Yeah, there's a one alcohol. When we had a but that got to be an issue with the hotel room. Get back so many people. So it's probably better to bring your girl. We're running. No. What you said is others should effort to say, old furnace. Emphasis on the old furnace. You all are young at heart. That's the bullshit. There's people here that are in their 70s that have been
You're welcome to follow that guy.
John Harris. It's the one that's up there.
No, that is
The wedding, that
right.
I swear, I've never asked for a blood and the bride decided to schedule a shower for next Saturday. Of course. And all she's been doing is moping around. Oh, yeah, I'm going to miss the game. I'm going to miss the game. There was no phone. The world is uprooted. Yeah.
So we were just discussing
What is it all about the old?
Okay, so you okay, yeah, you're way back. I went to bed at 4. I woke up at 8:30. Oh, I gotta go start the street. What's that?
There's not a bunch of
I had a I may have a topic for you. It was a publication of GLPA. I'll keep an eye out. I think the word actually good paper is a workshop on how to build these things.
This is seriously cool.
I build a binary.
For shooting star, you're in the middle of a shooting star. It's like a,
that was their special
yeah, it's like a telescoping pole. Jerks around because, it's a spring, and so the next time it's going and all of a sudden you see the seams pop up. Genius, John, it was genius. So all you needed was a different on the ball. And then switch to we had a spot right up the street of the old museum called Fish and Squash. It was all the plants started. So you should have seen the shops. Whatever we want. You guys
Those are the most amazing things. We had some water. I made the most amazing pattern of colors. And I remember making water. So as a kid coming in there, I saw them like, how are they doing that? And then when I saw it, I was like, really? Like that's how we're doing? That's awesome.
My kids are like Gary Carmen when you get a thunderstorm, it would squirt out of Mr. Water.
That's kind of cool.
That was actually in the stroke.
We got rid of that. It had gold in it. It was kind of disgusting.
Some of it, I never did that because especially when you get we helped. We used water. We were just like the walking machine they were using. Started always worried about that.
Pictures in the brochure. It's like 25 years old.
The other thing is the laser system is not allowed. behind the wall to the laser system to pull the laser out. But the thing would really go.
I'm surprised to hear that it's like an open loop system. So like the drain of that just went off with like a, right somewhere or something.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, you don't want to be in a pool, a custom pool. So the idea when you're going to is that you can see a whole picture.
That's sort of cool.
Yeah, so the basement on it. And if you look closely along the wall, on the outside, you see all these things. But they don't go about a third of the way up. It's because we didn't have to use it in that pool. They didn't drain it for a while. And those putts getting the ball out. That's cool. They just did.
Did you ever use it there when we had pregnant they had taken pregnancy
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was common or not.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Yeah, so you played music.
People would move, you had the mirror like that. Point the laser, the mirror right on. It would go over the music. Point the laser. That was fun. That was really good. That was a big laser show.
Yes, it was.
He was pretty he was the kind of the first light show. I mean, you guys start coming to turn technology, but that was
When I had that, we were students and
We're fortunate enough to be able to experience sort of both the old, I mean, we weren't around for sort of the heyday of the system. We're still there.
we had a lot of fun. The pros, as John probably saw, even at the cafe there, the pros were literally filled.
you're always trying to balance not getting a shadow because of the going like all everybody got to create a shadow.
I just have a digital clock. I keep it 80%. It's just dry. It eventually started to stay with me. And so I pulled it out of there. And the very bottom of the with all the incandescent bulbs.
When you know it was awful, that was the problem. The rain effect. Under the ball.
Yes.
Well, I had float balls, low, little plain smoke. One of the great special the old 60-foot zone had a catwalk. Halfway up. Right. Yeah, not the same one. But we got a mannequin, full-size mannequin in the store. Put it up on the catwalk. This is for Halloween. Got a witch's costume, dressed in a witch's costume. Got the janitor's barrel. Put it next to her. Put a stocking hand going down the janitor's barrel. The barrel was a strobe light. We had green spotlights on her, along with a fan sitting up there. It was lower. And so when you turned that on, people didn't know you could see through the window. It looked like she was stirring, because the strobe light stirring the pot, and all of these green. We had that, it had a little bit of fog. And it looked like she was moving. When you're away, it's nothing. We do that with ghosts. Go to park every trade, you know, one of the capabilities. You know the ghosts? You turn it behind the door. And it looks like the pumpkin appears out of it. You have to pumpkin is playing in the when you put the iron through, they had a thing. And he was surprised. Well, there's something really cool watch about where we built these cylinders. They had one company that counted 22 cylinders out watching about people for trajectories. But either they would do their thing, and set the lamp up, and they would back around, and there was a limit switch, you know, so they set them off with a relay on each. Very, very nice. Exactly. So So we were because we were trying to make sure you don't shut the power off, otherwise it's not responsible.
Always funny.
The guys in the room looked like they were trying to get the light. A lot of training though to figure out how to create and make it look realistic.
There was all kinds of stuff on my eyes, you know. You really can't do that anymore because the projector is
Now Gary had he had those crazy when the Skyscan people came to me first, yeah, they were not well, at Christmas time, we would project the panorama at Christmas scene. And this took a lot of time. You would actually do everything. Like doing holes in the dome. No way. Like, you know, the little funny ones and decorate the building and then project the panorama. That's pretty cool. And it looked pretty nice. Yeah, one of us
Hello, everybody. I hope you are enjoying dessert. This is MSU Dairy Store ice cream, so woo. All right. Just a quick heads up. In about 5 minutes, we'll be starting with the evening's program. So finish up your conversations, eat your ice cream, take a restroom break, dance, I don't know. Have fun. 5 minutes.
John, if you seriously want to see that look. Okay. And I think I made I got all those. It was a good publication. It was, you know,
Yeah. She just didn't have stuff I
we also have part of a costume of a character known as and the part of the costume we have is the bra. The part has sequins on it and stuff coming out. That was even, he knows about that, but that was even before my I knew projector this. It was a guy. Actually went into a bank and all dressed up as a planetarium projector. So we still have a draw. So I will focus draw. And for you very well, those were the days when projector changed personality. But you're not just lighting coming out of the light. Oh, really? Oh, and Gary gave talk? Well, if it was Gary, you would have remembered that.
Jefferson Street, and it sounded like before the end of the conference, whoever it was, they came in here.
I might have used it. Yeah, all these years later, that's for sure. My son Chris grew up. That's what I'm saying.
It's a semicolon.
He does IT for his job.
It's a semicolon. Type of program.
I thought that was Howard was doing it. If he ever looked at his soldering job. Lawrence.
Okay,
On his,
I didn't even know
They were supposed to use
You've been out there and saw the
very impressive. But I couldn't believe it when they told me that he didn't have like a proper temperature controlled soldering.
Probably not a look close.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you look behind someone who's wiring his connections, well, well, he made his music. Well, down there. Opposition to the screen. He played gigs for a long time. So now he does he went to Korea. For a while he was a computer
We gotta take all this down. We gotta take all this down and we gotta only someone wouldn't bring it. Wouldn't have so much.
Either way, get out of the story. Once I went out, my whole case was getting
Like the last 3 years, all I've done is build those cars every single. I'm so tired.
Tom Cruise, every scene is Mission Impossible. It's like slow-mo and he's always going to be like this to the camera. As the explosion is happening.
Like we're getting ready to leave, and I'm like, moving equipment. Awful. Awful. You're so like. Oh no, you have to walk through all the way.
Okay.
One minute.
Regular? No, 13. I gotta get some more. And then I'll come with your table.
30 seconds. No.
I think I have. Yeah, I gotta figure out what you need. Some of it's probably very good. Special rate. I think you have all the special rates. But what I'll do is I'll run these by you.
Good evening, everyone.
I don't know if I'm ever going to talk. Oh, no, she said she's coming.
Boy, you'd think you like hanging out together or something.
Otherwise, I'll fall asleep.
Good evening and welcome to the banquet. Wasn't that a wonderful meal? Let's show appreciation. One of our traditions at the beginning of the banquet festivities is to introduce the elected officers and some of the people up here at the reserve tables. So I'm going to do that, and so that people at the far end can see who we're talking about, I do ask that when we do call your name, please stand. But everyone, please hold your applause until we get to the end. I'll hold up and, hey, who, Jason Heaton, was that you? Was it really? Wow. All right, so first let me introduce to you our officers. President-elect Walina McCulley. No applause. I know, she's fantastic, but I know, it's hard. Past President Dale Brown. Thank you. Secretary Dan Tell. Treasurer Sherry Adams. And IPS Representative Mike Smale. Now you can clap for the officers. We have an amazing group of people here, like representing our hosts and our host institution. I know it's going to be really hard not to clap after each of these, but please do stand or at least give a good wave. Shannon Small. Shannon Small. That actually is hard for me to say. You'd think I'd have practice by now. And her husband Chris. Shane and his wife Jen. And she's like, oh, I'm never doing this again. John French. Bob Victor. And our Spitz lecturer David Batch and his wife Paula. Let's show appreciation for these amazing people. But it takes a lot of people to run this organization year-round. These people have put in so much time lately, but there are things that go on behind the scenes all year round. And so I'd like to introduce you to and make sure you know who the current executive committee members are. Actually, let's just have them all stand right now, please. No clapping. Executive committee members that have not been introduced as officers. Tom, nice job of standing. So we've got Gary Tomlinson, Conference Planning, Bart Benjamin, Publications, Dave Leake, Development, Paulette Epstein, Membership, and Peggy for Education. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Tom, yeah. Tom for Technology. Now is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Let's show our appreciation for all the hard work that these guys are doing. There are lots of other roles that people are serving in. And for these, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to call off a bunch of people. And when I call them off, just stand. Again, we'll wait to show our appreciation for everybody all at once. It's going to be by position. And I want to do the first one separate so that we can show our appreciation separately. You can clap after this one. Because she is another one of those people that has been working very intensively for the past couple of months and is helping out year-round. Our conference registrar, Janet. She does so much work that I've had a couple of people actually assume that she gets paid. She does not. So our thanks is all that she gets for that. So please continue to pass on our appreciation. We're going to double your salary in appreciations. All right, so could the rest of these people just stand and we'll applaud as we go along. Current committee chairs, including state chairs, paper and poster, workshop coordinator, door prize coordinator, GLPA gear manager, conference photographers, plural, videographers, plural, historian, proceedings editor, registrar, we just did that one, and we've already done our conference hosts. But wait, I thought you were going to be standing as I was doing that. I look up and there's nobody standing. All those people, please stand, and let's show our appreciation. For these lovely table decorations, I don't want to hear any squabbling now or later, but there's no like magic sticker underneath the seats or anything. You just have to work it out. No violence. Remember our code of conduct, all right? So, not now.
That's a microaggression.
So if you just did that, actually you did that really well. All right, nice job. If not, please impress us later with your cooperation. It is also my pleasure to list for you our sponsors. You know how much they do for us. Many of us do come to these conferences. At least, 30 to 50% of the reason is to see what our sponsors have to show us this year. And the sponsorship, the money that they provide to our conference, does reduce our registration and helps us to have great food like we've had at this conference. Please hold your applause, but if we could just call out the companies. When I finish, I'm going to ask any sponsor members that are here to stand, and we'll show our appreciation for everybody that's here and all of the sponsors that are not here. At the Parallel Universe level, Ash Enterprises, no clapping. See, I caught you that time. That's Parallel Universe, Ash Enterprises. Universe level, Spitz Incorporated. Goto Incorporated, Seiler Instrument, Clark Planetarium, Skyscan. At the galaxy level, Mirage 3D, Skis, RSA Cosmos, Nice Network, Laser Fantasy, Astrotech Manufacturing, Audiovisual Imagineering, Evans and Sutherland, Digitalis Education Solutions. It's so wonderful to have so many sponsors. At the solar system level, Reef Distribution, Milwaukee Public Museum, Chroma Cove, the Illuminati. At the planet level, California Academy of Sciences, Longway Planetarium, and Sudican Planetarium. Any representatives from those sponsors, please stand. Let's show our appreciation. And now, the most somber part of the evening. We do know of two of our family, as we like to think of it, who have passed away this year. One of them, Clayton Hopper, we already heard Astrotech, the staff last night, speak more completely than I ever could for Clayton. But I would like to have David Ryan come up, and he's going to just say a couple of words. Another person that we lost this year is James Marin. And Tom, can you bring up that picture?
It's just push the next button on the computer in front of you.
Do I have to do everything?
Yeah, don't ask me to do it because I have no knowledge of technology. There we are. Thanks. Well, when I first got involved in planetariums back in the late Paleozoic, I was very fortunate to cross paths in Grand Rapids with the president of the local astronomy club, Jim Marin, who was not only a really fine person, but also somebody who had a great propensity for thinking and was also an excellent speaker and an amateur actor, all of which can be useful when you're looking for somebody to do the weekend shows other than you. And so he was the first person I brought on staff when I took over in Grand Rapids in 1964. And he not only was very, very supportive of the planetarium and just a faithful associate with lots of good ideas, but he also accompanied me through the snowstorm on the way to Lansing in November of 1964 for the gathering of planetarium folk from around the Midwest that would be the seeds for the organization that exists today. And we traveled through that snowstorm. A whole hour's drive normally from Grand Rapids took us about 2.5 hours. A horrible early season snowstorm. And I kept lamenting to Jim all the way down there that nobody will be there. Well, that's when I first learned about the fortitude of planetarium people. There were folks from Ohio, there were folks from Indiana, there were folks from Illinois that had to come a lot farther than we did who made it. And Jim was part of that group. He also, at the inaugural conference a year later in Grand Rapids, gave a paper. He was part of the organization probably for the better part of a decade, and was one of those people that was just very, very unique, using his wonderful talents. One last item, the James C. Bean Observatory, a project that we undertook at our institution with the Grand Rapids Astronomy Association, would not have happened if it hadn't been for Jim and his wife Evelyn, because they allowed us to build that facility on their property and leased us access to it for 99 years, something that they would regret over and over and over. But Jim did have health problems over the last decade or so. He made it to the 50th anniversary conference for the banquet in 2015, and I will miss him both as a friend and as a colleague, and certainly a benefactor in many ways to my career. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. In case anybody was not with us last night, Clayton Hopper was a big part of Astrotech and involved in GLPA a while ago. So let's take a moment of silence just in memory. Thank you very much. We now have the honor of presenting some awards. And we have quite a list tonight. I promise I'm trying not to press lots of buttons on the keyboard as I lay my iPad down, but we all know what happened when I was holding my iPad. Our first item is really to remind people that you can nominate people for awards. In fact, all of these awards tonight, except for one, did not come from the executive committee. It came from members. And just note that the awards, those nominations, there are forms and guidelines on the website, and they're due on the vernal equinox. Or before. Yes. Thank you for that clarification. Our first award that we'll be giving out tonight, I'm going to read three names. Please hold your applause until I read these three names, and then as they're coming up, I'll explain a little bit about this award. We are awarding fellow status to the following three people: Carrie Berglund, Anna Green, and Peggy Hernandez. So you get to stand here a little awkward, I guess. It's a little shorter path than I had anticipated. Or they clapped longer than I thought. I'm not sure which. But this fellow award recognizes a member's professional status and significant contributions to the Great Lakes Planetarium Association. The fellow award is given to members who have made significant contributions to the organization. You can tell that, right? You know who you're seeing here. Have made significant contributions to your organization and been a member for 10 consecutive years or 5 consecutive years and substantial contributions. So once again, let's honor them with our applause. Next, we would like to honor people with the Honorary Life Membership Award. This is given to retired members for exemplary career contributions to planetarium education and the Great Lakes Planetarium Association. The first Honorary Life Membership we would like to give out goes to someone who has served as Secretary-Treasurer, President, was our first webmaster, and is tonight's Spitz Lecturer, Dave Batch. Next up is someone that you'll know who I'm talking about as soon as I say it, is our publication chair and has recently done his 123rd issue of the newsletter, Bart Benjamin. And last, but certainly not least, someone who has served as education chair for many years, workshop coordinator for several years, state chair for several years, Dave DeReamer. We also, on not necessarily a regular basis, but when it comes up, have a service award. The service award recognizes exceptional and/or long-term service, in this case both, to the Great Lakes Planetarium Association. Our photographer for many years, Dan Goins. Very lovely award.
It's hard to believe that someone in a 20-foot planetarium dome can make it this far.
No, it's not hard to believe. We have a mentor award. This award honors those who spend a great deal of effort and countless hours mentoring students and/or others in the planetarium field. People who consistently provide encouragement and opportunities to become involved in the planetarium profession, thereby promoting the quality and continuity of the profession. For the first one, I'm just going to say his name, and while we are giving this person our honor of applause, we have some people who would like to come forward and say a few words. Our mentor award goes to Bob Allen. Bob, you have to come up too. I'm not delivering. You have to come up here. They are coming up, but you'll be here too. It'll be a nice photo moment.
I just want to thank Bob Allen for being my astronomy teacher and letting me work in the planetarium under his guidance, showing me that I could actually tutor students that needed help in astronomy, giving me the opportunity, and being a lifelong friend in the planetarium business. So thank you, Bob. Thank you so much.
We all worked at UW La Crosse under Bob Allen, and I'm the middle child. Dave's the oldest, and Sean's the youngest. So people often come up to me, and I'm sure you've all felt this. They go, "Oh, how did you get such a cool job?" And I go, "Well, I loved astronomy, and I had a few breaks, and." Come on, Dad. But the biggest thing is, so I tell them, I love astronomy like you all do, and all of that, and I had a few breaks, and I was very fortunate, but I also say at the end of it, I had a great mentor, Bob Allen.
One side note, Bob asked me to work in the planetarium, and he did it at a local tavern. Back when the drinking age was 18, I think, but I'm not sure.
So I met Bob starting off as a freshman in college, and I had the bug for the planetarium business. But I have to say one of the best things was that Bob gave all of us a chance to be a part of the team. He didn't make all the decisions. He asked us our opinions. He got us involved. He let us express our interest and be a part of something bigger. And that was the most meaningful thing, and especially to someone who was, hard to believe, back in the day, very shy and a little bit scared of things. He really made a big difference and has been a lifelong friend and extremely inspiring over the years in terms of how he used the dome and inspired us to push it farther and do more with it. Thank you, Dad.
I'll try and make it short and sweet. I can't make a long story short, but first of all, I'm so proud of all three of these. They've gone beyond what I ever did. each of them in their own separate ways. I'm so proud of them. My first clip, I was in grad school in Ann Arbor in the late 60s. Bob Victor had already graduated from there as a teaching assistant under Dr. Hazel Lush. 400 students in Astronomy 1 in the fall and spring, 400 in Astronomy 2. She put through 8 teaching assistants a year. And we're proud of Dave Batch, I don't think he was a TA, but was a graduate student with me at Ann Arbor. And so my roots, I have some Michigan roots, even though I've been in Wisconsin for many years. My first GLPA was 1969. How many of you remember or knew Maxine Harstick? She was a carrier. Bob took her position when she retired, and I'm proud to say I've had that same professional job for all those years. I taught and ran the planetarium as a release position for 33 years, had the planetarium part-time for 3 years, retired, moved to Tampa area where I grew up. We came back to Wisconsin, and I'm on my 7th year of being just planetarium director, so 40 plus years under the dome, and I love it. Thank you.
And we have another mentor award. We have a lot of amazing mentors in this organization. This mentor, go ahead and applaud after his name, and we have some people that are going to come up and speak to his mentoring as well. David Hurt. Not a big surprise though. Hopefully it's a surprise for him now.
Okay, so I first met David in 1992 when he pulled into Edinburgh in the Dodge, was it a Dodge Colt? Dodge Colt. Yeah, what year? And so I was his first helper, planetarium assistant, and so a lot of time has passed since then, and excuse me. Now I have my own planetarium, very successful I would say, and thanks to David. So you deserve the award. Congratulations.
I first met David in actually in 2001, I believe, or 2000. And was calling up, trying to reach into him to find out what the book was going to be so I could get it in Braille. Here to find out that he had one, and it was the best that I've actually used up to that point and even to this point in the day. He's gone on, as we all know, to develop a whole bunch of tactile stuff. Would not be for him if, for me, that I love astronomy just because of what he's been able to put out and strengthen my knowledge base. And I'm honored to call him a friend and a mentor and a colleague.
I first met David Hurd in 2014 when he hired me as his graduate assistant at his planetarium. And I still remember those early training days when he he popped me behind the console of his Spitz A3P and he said, push all the buttons, turn all the knobs, just figure out what they do. Except the one marked...
I still don't know.
Except the one marked for session, right? Yeah. Except that I did, twice at least. And that would have been incredibly intimidating, except for his infectious enthusiasm, and any misstep I ever took was always met as a learning experience. And he is also the reason why I came to my first GLPA conference, and even though I'd only been at the job for 3 months, I knew that this is where I belonged. And he has always known the importance of bringing students here, not only to introduce them to our community, but also to give them an opportunity to find their voice in a professional setting, which I'm only just now discovering the real importance of that. And maybe that's the hallmark of a real mentor. I'm still learning from him to this day in ways that he probably doesn't even realize. So I can't go into all those, obviously, I don't want to hold you up, but two things that I really think about when I think about what I've learned from David Hurd, to always be humbled by my successes and to be grateful for the lessons I learn in my failures. So, thank you.
So I'm his most recent mentee, I guess, and I'm actually his first advisee. He's never been an advisor in his 25 plus years of teaching at the university, so I'm his first advisee. He still has no idea what he's doing. We have to go to our department chair. My story is basically the same as Tiffany's, except for a year later, where he just threw me into the console. But what I like about him being as a mentor is that, you know, he doesn't care about the planetarium. You know, when he's being a mentor, he cares about me as a person in my studies. You know, if when I was having a hard time sophomore year, he told me to just forget the planetarium. Don't even come in if you're not going to get your work done. And that's really important as a mentor, to make sure you're doing your work first, especially as a student, you know, college students. And so, yeah.
Do I have to say something? I'm very humbled, and I guess I'm just as good as my students are, and I've been blessed with some fantastic students through the years, and so I feel very blessed to be in this profession and to have such great students that make me look good. So,
We were
thank you.
able to pull this off without him even knowing, which
No. Oh dear, Roger, that's surprising. So anyway, thank you all. This is quite an honor.
Our next award is GLPA's highest honor, the Galileo Award. It recognizes persons of exemplary leadership at the national and/or international level. Persons nominated for this award need to have been a GLPA member in good standing for at least 10 consecutive years. This will not be a problem. They are persons who have done exemplary work within GLPA and have carried this work beyond our regional borders. The recipient of this award tonight is a fellow, a charter member. He was awarded honorary life member in 2001. He has presented a paper at 13 conferences. He also provides astronomy outreach to clubs. And his work on a widely distributed sky calendar that you may have heard of has touched millions of lives. Bob Victor. Be careful with this award. It's really heavy. But congratulations. Would you like to say anything?
I hope you get a lot of clear skies in your lifetime and see the things that are coming up. Our October issue, the 50th anniversary, is actually kind of a lull. That's why I decided I'd better do some others before and after. And it's almost killing me here, but got a few more months coming up of much more exciting. Well, the ones coming up are mostly morning events, so I don't know how exciting that is to you, but it is to me. And hope you're around, a lot of you, for the 2061 apparition of Halley. We already had talk about that, but I put the bug in John's ear about getting a planetarium program together, ready by 2023 when Halley reaches aphelion, and it could be the time when people who are going to be around in 2061, as well as those of us who probably or will definitely not be, in the planetarium dome to share the beauty of that apparition. It'll be a good one, even though it won't be very close to Earth. The timing is good. Hope we can put together a program for that. And lots of other things coming up. 5 bright planets in August, September 2040 in the evening sky. Low, but doable. So maybe we could do some sky calendars ahead of time, because I'm kind of old by then. But I'd still like to share it. Thank you. Yes, I acknowledge too the help that I've gotten from others in the past and present. John does the diagrams actually, even when I write the calendar or design it. And others like Jenny Pond, Dave Batch, have carried the load. And thank you very much. This is shared. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Wait a minute, Bob. A lot of you know that Bob spends an awful lot of time at the planetarium, and it does get kind of cold. He's always complaining about how cold it is in the planetarium, and especially in the library where he pretty much lives. Yeah, but we don't want to admit that. But so we've got him something special to hopefully help keep him warm for his next summer. And this October, it's the 50th anniversary month of SkyCast. That's why we printed it on gold paper. And if you notice, it's on gold paper, the 50th anniversary. So thanks a lot, Bob.
Thank you. Well done. All right, we have some important things coming up, but I want to make sure that everybody is awake for them. Paulette's going to hit me if I, no, you wouldn't, not code of conduct. But she would give me a look if I forget to tell you that those awards all have boxes, and so it'll help you to transport those home. So we do have those boxes up here, and you can grab them at any point. Perfect. I should have just given you the microphone. All right, so let's just take a 2-minute stretch break. 2 minutes. Ready, go.
I think Janet just went the it's the registrar job. A lot of stuff you shouldn't do.
What do you try? Okay. So well deserved. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, I just wanted to see how that was. Where is it actually?
That is so cool.
Which Bob means you cannot ever complain when you're told again. That's right. Really? Unless you want to know.
Oh, yeah, and I'm getting the same notification.
Yeah. That's only October.